So let's talk about the first thing, what is firewall and the types. So if you take a look of this picture, this is how the firewalls will be look like. This is your inside zone or the network, and this is your outside, or you can say the public infrastructure. As the Crystal said, that firewalls is being used to protect, or I think the HIPAA also said, from inside to outside and outside to inside. So whatever the traffic that is coming from outside network, which is not secure, by the way, this public infrastructure is not secure. We cannot trust ISP. We cannot trust, from wherever the data go through or the packet go through, we cannot trust. So that is the reasons the people sitting outside, they can approach, and they can take a control of your inside network. So that is the reason, the first and foremost thing, we use firewall as just to protect our information that is going from inside to outside and outside to inside. So if we talk about the real definition of this one, which I mentioned here. In computing, a firewall is a network security system that monitors and controls incoming and outgoing network traffic based on predetermined security rules. It means we have already defined some kind of security rules on the firewall to control the traffic. A firewall typically establishes barrier between the trusted network and the untrusted network, such as the internet. So he's saying that this is untrusted and this one is trusted. So when we will hit the ASA concept in the subsequent slide, you will see I will be configuring untrusted and trusted with the help of levels, security levels. These are known as security levels. So if I talk about security level here, because this is untrusted, I will give it security level 0. And since this is a very trusted level, I will make it 100. So this is how ASA will know which one of my leg is untrusted and which one is a trusted, with the help of these numbers, which are nothing but security levels, or sometimes also known as security zones. We have different kind of firewalls, by the way, because as the time elapses, the things changes, and network engineers and these IEEE, they have to jump in and to create some different things for us to protect from outside network. So like we have application firewall, and if we remember from our layer OSI layers, we know at application layer what things works, like HTTP or HTTPS traffic. So this application firewall is very specific just to control these traffics, which is like web traffics or any other kind of traffics. If you are using application that is using these kind of information like HTTP or HTTP, so they can control these kind of things. So HTTP application firewall is specifically to monitor HTTP or HTTPS traffic. Then we have packet filtering firewall, and if we correlate it with the OSI model, and we know that packet layer which works at layer 3 packets, which has to do what? Source IP and destination IP. So from where the traffic is coming and where it is going. So this is the task of this packet filtering firewall. It has nothing to do with the application, by the way. So packet filtering is only concerned about the source IP and destination IP. Then we have a stateful firewall filtering that exists in the ASA firewalls as well. So what is it basically? Whatever the traffic, if I give you example from here. So let's suppose this PC wants to communicate with the website like jobskillshare.org. So when the request will be sent, Okay, this firewall will keep this information its table, that from where source this is coming and which destination, like source and destination, which is where it is going. It will create a session inside it, firewall table. Why? When this job skill share will reply back, it will have a better understanding that this state is already exists in its table. So that is the reason it is known as stateful firewall, because it keeps the information. But opposed to that, let's say in that case, if some person is sitting outside and he want to reach to this, let's say this is a server. So this is from outbound, from outside to inside. If this state is not exist in its firewall's table, it will not allow. This traffic will be rejected. So that is the use of having stateful firewall. Then we have, the next gen firewalls, by the way, these days. If I give you example, this is like very advanced, but no problem. For the sake of knowledge base, I'm writing FTD, like fire threat defense. We have Palo Alto. Then we have like checkpoint firewalls. These are all, you can consider it like a next gen firewalls. And as you can see, they work from L3 all the way to L7. I'm talking about the layer OSA layers.
Sorry, I have a question. When you say Palo Alto, I immediately think of VPN client.
By the way, these all firewalls can work as the VPN as well.
So would you consider Cisco AnyConnect also a next gen firewall?
AnyConnect is no.
Cisco AnyConnect is going to be like it's basically a separate feature that comes with that firewall. So AnyConnect is basically a VPN, but it can be added into that firewall package. So let's say, for example, when we talk about firewalls over here, we are going to talk about, let's say, ASA, which kind of like either it's like a hardware, right? Let's say we put two hardware devices in a company. One is the main, second one is the secondary, primary, secondary. So one is like the main firewall, second one is the and when the first one goes down. So in that hardware, it comes, that VPN type of packages come with that, because look, it works at the kind of like a door level. So if you are going to get into that company, you got to get through that firewall, right? So it gives you that a capability to, you can install a VPN on those systems. So it's like on the back end, it's going to have like a package. Okay. When you have a package, you configure it, then you tell that firewall that I want to download a client from you because I want to connect through you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But that connection and its checking and everything is what's gonna be the firewall. It's going to be doing that. So I'm going to fast forward this with the next gen type of firewalls. Now let's say, for example, 10 years ago, if I would have bought a firewall from Cisco and it came with hardware, let's say I bought it, right? So it also came with the capability of, let's say, VPN and stuff like that. I configured it. So when we talk about next gen now, and that's kind of a little more advanced stuff, it will have a capability to give me something more now. Let's say a module. We bought a module after, let's say, 10 years. The Cisco called us, look, you guys need to upgrade it or buy a new hardware from us because we have a new capabilities now. So when you buy that new hardware, it's going to do certain things. Let's say, for example, it's going to go to a new IP address and it's going to be able to check traffic that the older version couldn't do. And that is what we call, when we say next gen, we're actually moving up to more advanced checking that the older versions couldn't do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And after this, maybe I'll show you a little demo of an ASA, just real ASA, like how real ASA, and also a kind of like what advanced ASA and what do you call FMC looks like. What does FMC stand for? I forgot, man.
What?
FMC.
FMC.
Cisco Fire. Sorry, I think it's Firepower Management Console.
Yes, we have FTD and FMC.
Yeah. So
FTD is like the main from where the data will go, and FMC just the management console basically.
Yeah, management console. Exactly. So it's called, I think, Firepower Management Console, right?
Yeah.
So that is like the new naming, Haifa. When we talk about, if someone say, "Oh, go to we have Firepower," right? They're gonna probably have that interview question. So if you're gonna go over like network engineering jobs, most likely people are going to be advancing or going for little newer versions and not staying with the old version of firewalls, right? So you're going to start hearing these terms because a lot of people do use Cisco for this type of security, and many companies have ASA. So if they have ASA, it's more likely that they're going to be using Firepower to have a little new system in place in there. And he will show you it's even beyond that now. So it's not just internal firewalls. We have even cloud firewalls these days that are in sync with your company's firewall. And we will kind of break it down to you in a few minutes.
Yeah, sure. So I also would like to add in it. Actually, Hefa, I want to put a line between the VPN and the firewalls for your better understanding.
If I understand correctly, VPN is like a tunnel.
Yep, exactly. It has nothing to do with the firewall. Even the attacker can encapsulated data inside VPN can send to the. So it has nothing to do with like protection. So basically, what VPN is doing, let's suppose you have this company here. Let's say we talk about the job skill share that is in New York, and then we have job skill share here in Pakistan as well, one branch of that. So if we want to extend the capability of this network all the way to the Pakistan, okay, because we want to communicate with this server that is sitting somewhere in New York, and this server or this user sitting in Pakistan, he wants to transfer or send the communication to this server. We do not want any person sitting in the ISP looking into what these packets are, or even if we want to access this server like a locally, it will just work like this computer is sitting inside here, New York.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a concept of VPN, and you will be given one piece of information that is AnyConnect. AnyConnect is nothing, just it is giving you access to this local area.
Right.
Okay, and opposed to that, the firewall which I am talking about here, like if you want to control some policies or inbound traffic, outbound traffic, packet filtering, or next gen, what is it? I'm just going to explain right now here. So basically what next gen does, as we said in stateful firewall, it is checking like source IP, destination IP, in packet as well, source IP, destination IP. In application firewall, it is just looking into the HTTPS traffic. But what happens? Let's suppose we have Facebook, and we want to block Facebook, but I do not want to Facebook as a whole. If I give you just example, we have one chat applet from where you send the messages to each other. Like this is a message box.
So you can specify what to block from what side.
Yes, exactly. So this is just like the message or applet that is being used in the Facebook, and we just want to block this thing only, this. So with the help of next gen, because next gen not only take a look into the source IP, destination IP, HTTP traffic, but whatever the data inside, the data as well. In other words, the data also known as the payload. So whatever the the nitty-gritty detail inside this data, you also can take a look and can block or whatever you want to. So this is that is why they came up with the idea next gen firewalls.
Got it.
Then this is web application firewall that is very specific to the only web applications. And this is sandbox, and this is also very good technology, by the way. And what sandbox is, like we have this sandbox, inside it we have multiple operating system. Let's say we have Windows machine, we have Linux machine, okay, then we have Mac or something like that. If attacker attack some kind of, let's say he encapsulate its information inside MP3. So MP3, let's say we know what MP3 is used for, and inside MP3 there is some kind of Trojan, a virus. Okay, so when it will hit this, let's suppose behind the sandbox there is a network. So this attacker wants to attack this LAN network. So before it enters, it needs to hit to this sandbox. And what sandbox will do? This MP3 information will run on Windows. Let's suppose if it is compatible with Windows, it will run on Windows. And now it will just de-encapsulate this packet and will check if there is a Trojan, and it will block here. But if this MP3 is belong to some Linux based, this application belongs to Linux, and this Trojan is also inserted into this MP3 file, and this format only for the Linux. So Linux will come into play, and it will check if there is any kind of virus or no. So this is how, like, we have like step by step, we have these defense basically. So this